How could the ex move on so fast? That's a question I've gotten from a lot of women, wondering why their ex-partner is already engaged and plan to be married, or living with another woman, or in a serious relationship weeks or months after the separation, when they are devastated. And I will try to answer that question. First of all, not everyone that moves on quickly to a new relationship is toxic. But after having been in a serious relationship, there is often, especially if the relationship did not work well, there is some work that both of the partners need to do. And that doesn't matter really whose fault it is for the relationship not working out. Well, if it was either it is both parties who are contributing, or it is one partner who is contributing more. But either way, looking at the relationship and what takeaways we can use to not end up in the same dynamic, and especially if we were abused, I think that it is wise to look at what were the red flags that we missed. How was I affected by the relationship, and what do I need to heal before I am ready to move into another relationship? So moving on very quickly, it can mean that the person have not introspected. Sometimes that's a way to escape the introspection and to immediately feel better to get into a new relationship. In the beginning of a romantic relationship, there is this elation or high that comes with falling in love with a new person. And of course, so that's one point. Then some survivors also get into a new relationship fast as a way to move out of the toxic relationship. They don't feel strong enough to do it by themselves, so it feels easier if they have a partner supporting them. And some survivors do get involved with a new person quickly as a way to burn the bridges. And this is a term that I've coined, but it is something that many of us do in the end of the relationship or after leaving, that we do something that we know that a narcissistic or toxic person will not approve of, or something to really show them that the relationship is over. And one of the ways that women do that is by having another relationship, or it can be a short interaction quickly after the first relationship is over. I did something different myself, so to show him and myself that the relationship was over, I packed all his things, the item that he had, and shipped it with DHL. Not in order, and he had a OCD tendency, so I knew that I would have to pay for that if we were to get back together. So that was something that I did, and but many of us do things that are out of character and that we may be ashamed of afterwards. And the toxic person may point to this that we did to burn the bridge, to show that we are unstable or toxic, or that we destroyed the relationship by cheating or by harming them intentionally, while the relationship might have already been dissolved when we did that thing just to drive the message home, so to speak. So not everyone who moves on quickly is toxic, but many narcissists or toxic persons are able to move on very quickly, shockingly quickly. And that is because they don't attach emotionally to the partner. They see their partner as a possession, as an object, as a means to get something. It can be support, or it can be social status, or economical gains, or things like that. But they're not emotionally invested. And you may feel this when you're with the person. You may feel that there is always something lacking. You're not truly connecting, or that feeling of connection comes very rarely. And I would say if you're with a narcissist, that feeling of connection, when it comes, it is not true. It is when they decide that they have to persuade you or draw you back in. So they give you this attention or mini love bomb, which feels amazing to you and you feel connected. But that them opening up, it may not be the real thing. But many of us feel that there is always something missing. You are physically intimate with a partner, and afterwards get this empty feeling that you didn't connect, like you were robbed of something. Do you recognize that, the empty feeling? Drop a comment if you have felt that. I think that that's a common experience. Being with the person you love and not feeling truly connected, it feels like something is off. And often we point that back to ourselves. Well, I must not be enough. There's something wrong with me. But the problem is that they are not connecting emotionally. They don't connect emotionally with you. And in fact, they see you as an object. So if you were out driving your old Saab and then it stopped working, yes, it would be a bummer. But if you then were offered a new car, you would quickly get into that and forget about the car that had been faithfully taking you around for 20 years. That is sort of how they view the relationship. Not like an intimate relationship with another human, but more like a master-servant, owner-object relationship. And another thing that is behind them moving on so quickly, one of the signs of a toxic person is that they move very quickly when they get into a relationship with a partner. They don't move slow. That's why it's called a love bomb. When they find a potential partner that they want to be in a relationship with, they move fast. They sweep them off their feet and they give them gifts. They travel together or spend a lot of time together. And the goal is to make this other person invest and be committed early on. So moving in quickly, getting engaged, married, pregnant quickly, that's a red flag, or maybe a red flag. And if you were thinking that your partner is toxic, that may be a confirmation that yes, they are showing this major red flag by moving on super fast from your long-term relationship or marriage into a new relationship where they seem very committed very fast, because that's how they do things. That's the toxic way. They don't get to know each other slowly because there is nothing there to get to know. It's the show that they put on intensively, and they want to pay off the committed partner as soon as possible. it is heartbreaking, of course, if you still have feelings for that person, to see them moving on. The common advice is, of course, not to look at their pictures and their social media, and not to get those news because of the fact that it is painful and it's hard to focus on yourself. I know that that's more easily said than done, but it will be softer on you or easier for you if you're able to not get that information about them and not see their happy pictures. Remember that the new partner is just on their way up on, when you go onto the roller coaster train, it goes slowly up. And they feel like, wow, the view up from up here is amazing. And then it will spiral down in a loop of chaos, just like what happened to you. And they will be cast, they will feel doubt and guilt and pain and wonder why things are happening like they are. So with that person, it is not possible to have a intimately connected and honest relationship, a deep connection, as long as they are choosing to live the way that they are, that lifestyle. And most of them do. It's very unusual that they change. It is painful, but it also shows a deeper truth that was always there, that they did not connect, and there was no possibility of connection. And that grief you're feeling, yes, it is real. You are grieving the partner that you thought you had, the charm, the act that they put on, the future you thought you were building. That's a real thing that you are grieving. And you have the right to grieve that. But it was not them, it wasn't true. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have not watched it, I can recommend this video. It is explaining more about how the objectification works in these relationships in a bit of a fun way. You will be compared to a teacup. I'm Emma, holding a plate over the bridge. See you in the next video.